What's happening, y'all? Welcome in to a brand new episode of Snaps. Sharing right now. We're a little early today, about 30 minutes early, because the man in the middle right here, that is our guy, Peter Burns, of course, SEC Media Day, starting up in Dallas on Monday. Aaron's going on vacation. I will be there.
Whoa. It's media days. It's the most important part of the off season. Snaps is like on the cusp of this greatness thing, and Murray's on vacation. We'll
still be doing shows. We will be doing shows.
Cowherd chose to not renew our contract. We are, this is our last month of being paid by the volume. We are desperately trying to prove that this Snaps thing can work, that we can take the show to the next level, that maybe the independent route's the best route. And our co-host is skipping SEC Media Days. Yes, this is
okay.
Don't start. First off, you boys are getting flights and hotels paid for by ESPN and by your radio station. I'm not paying my own way to go to Dallas for SEC.
You know what? You do it for love of the game. Aaron, you do it for love of the game. And you don't love the game. You don't love the game. T-Bob, that's what I hear. I hear like he doesn't love the game.
I'll be watching your Twitter, both of you guys, getting all the news while I'm on the beach, sipping some drinks, and we'll still do Snaps at 1.
What Peter, as far as SEC Media Days goes, what are you most excited for? Y'all are sitting there, SEC Network production rooms. You're doing Get Up, like in those production rooms. Like, what are the conversations that they're going to try to stoke next week?
I mean, it's a couple of things. Is who's got the pressure on them coming into the year, right? And I think the if you get into the weeds of the SEC, I think that clearly the two pressure-packed situations as far as jobs security is concerned are more than likely going to be Sam Pittman at Arkansas, Billy Napier at Florida, and possibly, maybe if things get kind of crazy, Shane Beamer at South Carolina, although I'm not necessarily think that's a done deal and they can turn it around. But so those are the things, but I look at it in the opposite side of it, like what teams truly have pressure. And I think, honestly, it starts, believe it or not, with Lane Kiffin, not Kirby, not Kalen DeBoer, not Brian Kelly. I think it starts with Lane Kiffin, because this entire offseason, guys, how much have we talked about come to the SIP? And there's a tweet, and there's this new transfer portal world that Lane lives in. They have been really good over the last couple of years with a 12-team playoff. It's not make the playoffs, it's a disappointment if they don't make the playoffs.
100%. Jackson Dart. Sorry, Aaron, real quick. So I want to follow up on Ole Miss here. Yeah. When you look at top quarterbacks in the country, I don't know why this is. Like, I feel like Jackson Dart almost becomes an afterthought. But when you look at the guys that are ranked ahead of him, he actually had a statistically superior year than a lot of them in terms of total yards, touchdowns, like a turnovers. He won 11 games, including kicking Penn State's ass. He's going into year 3 under Lane Kiffin. And even with the loss of Quinshon Judkins, you can make the argument that he has better weapons. Oh, and the offensive line sucked kind of last year, right? And like they put everything to make that O-line better. Like, is Jackson Dart kind of the dark horse Heisman?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Jackson, in order for him to be a Heisman, I think it's very difficult in Lane Kiffin's offense to be a Heisman Trophy winner. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, when you go look at the splits, Aaron, you probably, T-Bob, you've done it as well too. Lane Kiffin runs the ball.
Yeah,
they're a run-first offense. Like I think the first people, they think about Lane throwing up the clipboard up in the air and hitting Trey Harris and throwing for a bunch of yards, but they're a run-first team that takes the option to pass it a little bit more. So to me, I think it's difficult for him to be able to put up those type numbers that you might see from a Quinn, that you might see from any other from Nussmeier, really, in that offense over at LSU. Like, it has become a passing touchdown type, or passing offense type, award as of late. Even Jaden Daniels, I mean, look at the numbers that he put up. I just don't know if he'll get those numbers to be a Heisman guy. But third year, that's another reason why I think Lane's got the most amount of pressure on him, Aaron, to come into a situation of you need to make the playoff this year.
Yeah, and they got two great, probably maybe one of the best tandems of receivers in the country to throw to. So maybe he changed up a little bit with Dart, but he could put some rushing numbers up too. The thing that I like about SEC Media Days is the passion of the fans. You walk into the hotel, and you got fans downstairs, they're dressed up, they got the headgear. This year, first year, Texas, Oklahoma. It's in Dallas, going to be a little bit different flavor. What are you anticipating for this year's SEC Media Days because of the new location with the addition of those two new teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be a buzz, and what I'm really kind of interested to see is how A&M fits into this whole mix, right? I think there's going to be a lot of people that can't wait to talk to Sark in Texas, and that team's going to be ripping. With Quinn Ewers going to be there. Like I was just down there for the Welcome to the SEC show. I was down there for the spring game. They're legit guys. I mean, They get off the bus. They look exactly how Alabama did in their national championship games. The way that Georgia did in the last 3 seasons under Kirby. Sark's got that thing rolling. And so people are going to be, excited about that. They're going to be excited about Brent Venables in Oklahoma and the notoriety of that program. And Jackson Arnold's going to be kind of cool to watch. But where does Mike Elko fall, right? This is such an important year for Elko because with Texas, I only see them getting bigger, better, and stronger in this conference. I don't think that they're going to struggle when they meet SEC play. The question is, will A&M, who before Texas and Oklahoma and before this schedule got put together, they had an opportunity. And they kind of almost broke through in that weird year of 2020, but they had this 10-year, decade head start over Texas. And now that head start is no longer there. In fact, you could argue that they're behind Texas right now. So there's a lot of pressure on Mike Elko and Connor Wegman to be 100% healthy. But you go back and look, guys, when was the last time A&M had a 100% healthy QB for the year?
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. I wonder with Texas A&M, I'm really coming around on them the more and more that we talk about them. They have
coming on them because your strength coach said they're going to go 10-2, so you're sipping the Kool-Aid now. Let's be honest.
I mean, look, it's undeniable that one reason is Tommy Moffitt. Certainly, I mean, I'm obviously biased there, but he is. I mean, his resume does speak for itself. Yeah, he's one of the best strength coaches of all time. Like, if nothing else, I know Texas A&M won't be soft. And look, I think they've had a bit of a culture problem. Under Jimbo,
incredibly soft. They were it was a bunch of mercenaries. It didn't fit with Jimbo.
Yes.
It was a disaster. And
a bunch of guys that were there to get paid. They just want to get paid.
Now, there's been a natural culling of sorts, right? Where the guys who remain are kind of those that stuck it out. They still have a top 8 talented roster in the entire country, even after you factor in transfer portal. The Mike Elko hire represents a bit more of even a humble attitude than what I would have expected out of them. I feel like their opportunity to nobody has a greater chance week 1 to immediately shake up the entirety of the college football world than A&M does going head to head with Notre Dame.
Zero doubt, right? Because it's the Notre Dame, it's the brand, it's the opportunity. It's something that LSU hadn't been able to do in the last 2 years against FSU, and we'll see if they could do it against USC on that Sunday night. But it's just like, hey, we're here. I mean, I'm still torn about the time that Kevin Sumlin and those guys had a 40-point lead over UCLA, and they got the baton and the pimp walk on the sidelines. And it might have been Josh Rosen back in the day in his hot tub where he put up a bunch of points on them. So, I mean, Elko is the speak softly and carry a big stick type guy.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think that there's a lot of people undervaluing them. And, obviously I co-host with Chris Doering, and Doering is trying to pump me full of the Kool-Aid saying, listen, I get how tough Florida's schedule is, but this team is a lot better than people would think. And I know Doering enough. I mean, last year he thought Florida was going to be terrible. He thought that team was going to be a 3 or 4 win team. And because he was boots on the ground, he saw it. Yep. He's got me drinking this Kool-Aid of it. And it's amazing the group
Graham Mertz, baby.
I like Graham.
I like Graham a lot too.
And I think Billy is the same thing. He's not going to be as out there like a Lane Kiffin or any of these other coaches. For him, it's just kind of like, hey, get the work done. And now the schedules didn't do them any favors, right? Like Miami's a pretty decent team. They're scheduled to win 9 in the ACC, but that's the ACC, right? Like I think that's a coin flip game, and Billy Napier needs to start winning these coin flip games.
What does Florida's record look like, though? Do you have to be successful?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Go answer the question. T-Bob just always sabotages the interviews. Always.
I'm
sorry.
What I'm saying is, if we are, I just want numbers put on it. If we're saying that Florida's going to surprise, what does that look like? Because with that,
where do we have? We had them at 5-7. We had them at 5-7. What do you have them at, Peter?
I mean, if you're going to say Florida this year, I think that they're a team that can go 7-5, and that's it's a weird number to think about Florida football going 7-5 and everybody not going, ugh, that's disgusting.
That's
like
kind of my point. Yeah.
It's a weird deal because, I mean, last year we all whiffed on Missouri. We didn't think that Brady Cook was going to be that guy, Cody Schrader. There's somebody that always takes that jump. I think the two candidates for that are going to be Florida, and I think it's going to be Mississippi State with Jeff Levy in that offense, right? Like, I remember when Jeff Levy was the offensive coordinator when Ole Miss got ripping under Lane. So I don't think that they have I think people are sleeping on them, but I think that they're going to be just kind of a pain in everybody's ass coming, for the next couple of years going forward.
I know we have to go real quick. We talked about Texas, Oklahoma, their first SEC media days. We have them as we did like this whole, schedule, rankings, record prediction, sort of thing with the SEC. We have them at 6-6, but we also said that they have a lot of toss-up games where they can ruin and really change the playoff picture for a lot of teams. Alabama, LSU, Missouri, they play Texas, they play Tennessee. Like, they play a lot of teams that have a chance to legitimately make the playoffs and can screw their season up. So we had them at 6-6. Where are you feeling about the Sooners heading into the year?
I mean, I don't even know if Brent Venables know how to feel about the Sooners. That's the one thing about media days is we get here in mid-July and all the guys like literally are coming off of vacation. They're like, and especially with the transfer portal, they're like, I don't know who the hell's on the team. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think they're a 7-5, 8-4 team. I think it's just important that you don't backslide in the first year, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking at it going, hey, are you going to be able to take this 98-mile-an-hour fastball that is SEC football? Or are you going to back out of the batter's box? I don't think that they will. I think Texas is by far ready for it. I don't know about Oklahoma. I'd argue that Oklahoma is the biggest question mark them and Tennessee of any of the teams coming in. That I can see a fairly decent high ceiling, and I can see a floor in which I didn't understand was there.
Yeah. What's crazy to me about Oklahoma, kind of what Aaron was getting at, PB, is when you look at schedules, they kind of represent the difference between 9-3 and 10-2 for like 4 different teams. Mm-hmm. Like I believe it's going to come down to, do you end up winning that first matchup with the Sooners? LSU, one of those teams. I feel like LSU, Oklahoma, if we get that at the end of every year, that could be a very exciting matchup going forward. It's one that they're going to try to make happen.
Listen, I got to go, but here's the deal on LSU real quick because I wanted to touch on that. I said this, and I argued to the death with Dorian a couple of days ago. If they win the USC game, which I think that they can win, okay, I can't find 3 other losses on that schedule. I can't. I can't find it. If they beat USC and the defense is just mediocre, I'm talking top 60. I think the offense will take a little bit of a jump back, but not to the point.
Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M.
I don't see 3 losses. I don't see 3 losses.
You don't see 3. Okay.
Well, Aaron, but you know how we play this game. You take the toss-ups, and even if you split them down the middle to try to play, you get some, you lose some. It's still 10-2. I mean, you would have been 10-2 the last 2 years had you not lost to Florida State. Yeah. So, like, they've been right there, and now losing to USC would be an abject disaster.
T-Bob, this is a disaster. For going to be 3 years in a row, Brian Kelly is like, I got it, I'm ready to go, and they get punked by a team. Yeah. You cannot do that, especially with the USC losing Caleb Williams and all those guys. So this is the year that you have to do it. It's maybe the best offensive line, T-Bob, that LSU has had in a long
maybe
time.
Ever. I mean, maybe ever. I mean, you got to look at like the 03 offensive line to even come close with like Witt and Wilkerson and Peterman. But like, I don't know. This O-line's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. So looking forward to it, boys. I got to roll.
Safe travels.
Flight. I'll be working this week. T-Bob, you'll be working next week, right? Okay.
Yes. I will be hosting snaps. Do not worry, guys.
Aaron, I will also be hosting snaps. I just will be in a different location.
You will not be, actually. I doubt you'll have been there. PB, fly safe, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Have fun on Get Up. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. See ya. All right, Peter Burns. Are y'all going to go over EA's top 100? Yes, we are. Sorry, we got right into the the show here because we knew PB had limited time. We'll probably catch up with him again at some point.
Yeah. Maybe next week. But PB is going to be on Get Up tomorrow. It's a big time. So if you're watching Get Up, look out for our guy.
That's cool. Very cool. News saying Oklahoma's a mystery box of 2024. Yeah. I mean, I agree. New scheduling has my head spinning. Some great teams could have worse records and some good teams. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I have the mental bandwidth right now to try to play with that off the top of my head, but I see what you're getting at there, right? Like you could have, this would probably be too niche of a conversation, but you could do like which team's record will not represent how good they are because they got screwed over with a really hard schedule. A little niche, but I see it.
Do you truly think Doring he lives in Gainesville, probably goes to a lot of practices around the players, around the coaches, like when you're around it day in and day out, going to spring practices, going to fall practices, like, can you truly?
Who does that remind me of?
I never go to practices. Don't give me that. I'm not allowed to go to practices. Don't give me this shit. Kirby doesn't let me come to practices.
You up there
I can't
filming
go.
TPL shit with the players, going to Athens, back and forth. Okay.
What? Hey, Georgia backs the shit up because they win every fucking year. So don't give me this shit. They won more games than anyone else. Like, what am I supposed to do? Say they suck? They've lost one game in 3 years.
No, I agree. I mean, I didn't tell y'all how last year. I told y'all last year how it was going to go, that you would roll through the regular season and we'll see what happens when you're into good teams, lo and behold. Anyway, look, so you're getting at, can Doring be objective?
Yes.
I'll actually back up PB here and I'll say yes, simply because last year he objectively thought they were going to be bad. True. So if he's saying something different, well, I'll give that credence. But that's why I wanted, and I didn't mean to step all over you, but that's why I wanted PB to clarify the record, because it's one thing to say Florida's going to be better than we expected. But if you're telling me that 7-5 is what you want fans to be excited about, I'm telling you that we need to zoom out and look at what the fuck has happened.
Yeah.
Like how far the mighty have fallen that I'm supposed to be like, 7-5, hell yeah.
But you went over this the other day, and this was really fascinating when you go over the history of Florida football. And it was mind-blowing to me that it was not as consistent as maybe one would think a Florida football team would be.
No, they sucked ass before Steve Spurrier.
Yes. And then they had Urban, and then Dan had a couple of years, but like the history of Florida football is not like this incredible, consistent national championship contending team.
But it has been in the modern era.
True.
For 30 years now, they have been a consistent force. Urban obviously brought them to their peak, winning multiple national championships, but Spurrier had them, right damn near that. Dan Mullen winning 10 games a year. He could just never quite get over the SEC championship / playoff hump. But like Florida should, like,
but this goes to what Nudge said, though. And I'm not calling Florida a great team by any means, but good teams in this new SEC, depending on your schedule, will get exposed. Florida may be an improved team from last year, but still have a similar record because they have the most daunting schedule in all of college football. They got dealt a shitty hand. You give Florida, if they're as good as what Doring thinks they are, you give them, I don't know, say LSU schedule, maybe they are an 8-win team.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that the dice did not roll in their favor this year.
No, it's a good point. I guess that, and like, what's the counter to what I was kind of getting at? Like, we got to ask a question about if we're supposed to be happy with 7-5, how do we get here? I mean, the other thing is, though, there's no like easy overnight fix either. So as an administrator, you have to be willing to say, you know what, if we go 7-5 in a vacuum, if I told a Florida fan from the Urban Meyer era, this is what you're supposed to be happy with, they would freak out. I understand that, but I see improvement. And I want to build off of that improvement, because with everything changing, maybe there's something to be said for consistency. We'll see, but Billy's going to have his.
I don't think you can fire Billy if he goes 7-5.
No, I don't think so. I
don't think you can fire him at 7-5.
Ow, God,
get that thing.
Got a nose hair tickling. Oh, it's made me cry. Heather Higbob says, I want to know where you get 7 wins. It's just going to be a couple upsets, right? Like that's what you're banking on there. That some of those games that we feel for sure losses, Florida's going to surprise you and play better.
The two big ones.
Probably got to beat Miami too. You got to beat Miami to start the season.
You got to beat Miami, and then I think you got to win one of the LSU Ole Miss games at the end of the season. Both of them at home. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule again, and this thing sucks. I mean, look from October 12th on in Knoxville. Then you got Kentucky. Good team still. I mean, but you're at home. Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It
is awful.
I think
the end. I mean, from Georgia on, it's actually the most insane thing I've ever
I
seen.
don't even know if I can figure out 7 wins.
Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss.
Like, I can't find 7 wins.
Fuck.
I can't find 7 wins, even with the win versus Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up. They're going to need upsets. You're right. I mean, if they would get to 7 wins, that would be like a Herculean effort.
Yeah.
Extend Billy. Don't just not fire him. Give him a Brent Venables raise. Give him a Jimbo deal. Better look at the Hobbit hole with the wide shot. Digging it. Yeah, it is funny when you go wide, you can see it better, but you can also see that the green screen like ends right here. But kind of my walls in this office are the same color, so it's not bad. All right. Let's get to EA Sports. We got a few EA things today. Games right around the corner. We didn't even get to talk to PB about it, huh? Games right around the corner.
Too.
What? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We got our EA Sports top 100 player rankings. I want to touch on some of that. And then today, EA just released their Road to Glory blog, and I was able to read through some of it on the way up here, and there's some interesting stuff there. All right, Aaron, do you want to start with quarterbacks here?
Yeah, because that was my big thing with Shadeur being the number 1 ranked quarterback in the game.
Well, I mean, tied, right?
Tied.
Him and Carson Beck both at 93. Interesting that the highest ranked quarterback's only achieving a 93. I should say this off the bat, the highest rated players in the country, there's 3 of them. There are 96. So I appreciate EA being a bit measured in these ratings.
Yeah.
Like I like not jumping out to 99. And instead, now that we can have updates throughout the season based on how guys are playing, like ratings updates, I'm going to be fascinated to see who will be the first to play their way to being a 99. Because I think that's probably the plan here. But yeah, Will Johnson, of course, the great corner from Michigan, Will Campbell, LSU's offensive tackle, and Ollie Gordon II, all getting a 96.
I can see Ollie moving up close to that 99 in the new look Big 12 with Oklahoma State being still a powerful football team. I can see him moving up. But I like all 3 of them. Will Johnson is a lockdown corner, probably the first pick in the draft, defensive pick in the draft next year. You know, we just talked about LSU's offensive line. You know, I thought it was the best offensive line in the country last year. This year, you bring back both tackles, and obviously Will being that left side.
Both guards.
And how talented he is. Yeah, I love those 3 at that number 96 rating.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely legitimate. It's shocking to me, though, that you got to go all the way down to 17 before you get to a quarterback. And that's Shadeur Sanders and Carson Beck. I know. Sneaky good talent on Michigan, dude.
Yeah, especially the defensive line.
Mason Graham's a fucking dog. I had Mason Graham, my top 5 players in the country yesterday that we did on OTB. How about this? Me and Jake, completely blind and separated, came up with the exact same top 5 players in the country. Damn. And it was like off the top of your head thing where you just got to go like, hey, answer. But anyway, yeah, Michigan's tough. They have some really high highs talent-wise. They just also have some really low lows in terms of departures. Not in terms of like bad players, but in terms of like things you have to replace, both coaching, both on the field. Michigan, he's PB called Oklahoma the biggest question mark in the SEC. Michigan represents a pretty massive question mark as well, where we all kind of think they're going to take a major step back, but there is a world out there where due to their talent and culture, Michigan remains very strong.
Let's get back to the quarterback thing real quick. Are you
let me share
shocked with Shadeur being 93? Are they pumping the Sanders hype with putting him at that high?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because I don't fully know how to feel about Shadeur.
They have Travis at 95, which I like that. I'm actually interested. What is he on offense and defense? Do we know that?
I don't know how that works. I was going to ask you about Shadeur, though, because he had such a strong start. The stats are really, really good, very mistake-free.
Yeah.
But because they ended up losing so many games, is that why in my head I feel like, are we overrating him? Okay, answer me this, actually. What makes Shadeur Sanders a top 5 NFL pick and Dylan Gabriel's not?
I think size. Dylan's pretty small.
I agree, but is Shadeur big? Isn't Shadeur like 6'1", 6 foot maybe?
I don't know. I think Shadeur's a little bigger than that. Look it up real quick.
Okay, 6'2". I thought he was like a 6 foot flat guy.
No, a little bit bigger. I think size-wise, I would say better arm. Equally athletic. I would maybe give Dylan the edge possibly with just overall speed.
Yeah, for sure.
Accuracy, very similar. I think they're very similar. I just think like especially you're going to see it this year. Dylan's playing in more of what you would deem a college offense, which a lot of that is bled over to the NFL anyways, where Shadeur's playing what you would deem more of an NFL offense. So it's easier for me to watch Shadeur's tape and say, okay, I see the plays he's going through. I see the reads. I see the quickness getting to his check down or getting number one, like the way he plays the game within that type of offense, and says, okay, that translates to the next level. Where I think watching Dylan, especially this upcoming season, will be a little bit harder to say that translates to the next level. And the size factor as well. And I wouldn't say elite arm strength by any means.
Yeah, I mean, 5'11" to 6'2" is a pretty big difference. It's just interesting because Shadeur has basically been widely accepted as kind of QB2 on NFL boards going into the year.
No, Quinn.
I feel like the majority of the lists I see have had Shadeur ahead of Quinn lately. Beck's obviously unquestioned one. He's got the size, efficiency.
And I'll say this, I think it's a toss-up between Shadeur and Quinn for the number 2 spot right now. So I really like Shadeur's game. I like Quinn's game. I think they're very similar. So it's like a 2A, 2B for me. So I'm not going to
feel like Shadeur's. I don't feel like Shadeur's 6'2" either, to be honest. So Quinn Ewers and Dylan Gabriel checking in at 92. Again, I think Gabriel had a significantly better year than Ewers last year. I think he should be higher rated, but that's just me. Milroe and Dart at 90, and then Jalen Daniels and Caden Salter checking in at 90 as well. The player who could make the biggest jump, I'll stand by this, we talked about earlier this week. I still think out of this group, Milroe is the guy that has the most meat on the bone where he could rocket to the top of the list. Maybe just like rating wise, not NFL scouting wise, but rating wise potentially.
Well, I think NFL scout wise too, he could as well. I mean, hell, look at the quarterback that just won the MVP in the NFL this year. So like he has those type of characteristics when it comes to running the football, still a raw thrower, but explosive down the field. Like if he does develop, as we broke it down the other day, that intermediate throwing, he will jump up when it comes to NFL scouts and their mind of what a playmaker is and what the position of quarterback is in 2024 and beyond. So I like that, but like, don't sleep on Jackson Dart.
No, I agree with PB.
I agree with PB. Like it is a run first offense, but you just lost a running back that's ranked in the high 90s, mid 90s on this football game, and maybe one of the best running backs in college football this year.
Judkins is the 9th highest rated player on the game.
And I'm not going to say this is going to be a all of a sudden offense that throws the ball 40, 50 times a game, but you have an incredible tandem of receivers on the outside. You have a quarterback that's experienced, a quarterback that knows the system, a big play type mentality offense, and he can run. I think Jackson Dart can have a season where he can move up to like 93, 94 in the game.
I would look. I remember. When did we do top 5 quarterbacks in the country? I feel like we did that not too long ago. I think that I have Dart at 2. Right now, it's kind of changing as time goes on. Right now, I would have Beck 1. I've really come around to Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
and thinking about him with Tez Johnson and Evan Stewart, I think I'd actually. And I'm talking college. I'm not talking NFL scouting.
Yep.
I would go Beck 1, Gabriel 2, and then I think I got Dart and Sanders right there at 3 and 4, and I even have Ewers down at 5.
I mean, I'm kind of feeling Gabriel for like a Heisman. I'm like, you can't use the word dark horse, but I mean, him in that offense with those receivers and the year he had last year, dual threat type mentality.
Somebody said it in chat earlier. Is Jackson a dart horse?
Yeah,
that's a good joke. I'm sorry that I can't remember who said it to credit you, but
I mean, I would put money on Dylan before I would put money on Shadeur, on Carson or Quinn to win the Heisman.
Bo Kennedy says, if it wasn't for the hype on his dad, would we even be talking about Shadeur? Yes. Let's not go too far on the Shadeur slander train. I mean, the guy put up unbelievable numbers on HBCU level, and then on a really bad team where he had no offensive line whatsoever, under constant duress. Hold on, I got his numbers right here. I just bumped something. I got to find him. Shadeur he completed 70% of his passes, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's real and threw for 3,200 yards. So yes, Shadeur Sanders is very, very good. It is not just his name as to why he's
I honestly think it's more impressive that he has had the stats he has with the name, because
true.
We were talking about him nonstop last year. I mean, let's not forget, like, this is still a young 20-year-old individual who had a lot of pressure and a major microscope on him, and I thought he performed really well under that pressure with, as you would alluded to, one of the worst offensive lines in college football. So I view him even higher because he can handle that pressure, because I know when you do make the jump to the next level, that is the type of pressure that you're going to get every single day. The microscope is on you like crazy as an NFL quarterback, and he's proven to me that he can handle the heat.
Also, I mean, look, don't take our word for it. NFL scouts don't give a fuck who your dad is. Now, they like bloodlines and everything, but like NFL scouts would not have him top 3 if they didn't see the skill set.
Yes.
Like all right. So I like this list. I'm very excited to play with Kansas's offense at times. That might be Nebraska might be my team 1. Kansas might be my team 2. Little Jalen Daniels,
Evan, healthy.
Devin Brown. Well, I mean, I just mean online, right? But for actual Kansas fan, that is the question. And then who's their running back? Devin Neal, pretty damn good running back. I think he might be a 90 in the game.
God, how about Ohio State with Trayvon Henderson too at 93? You got 2 backs in the 90s for Ohio State.
Okay, then let's move away from Devin Neal's a 92 actually. Damn. All right, let's move away then from the quarterbacks, and we can move into some of the other takeaways here. Ohio State, 8 players in the top 100.
Mm-hmm.
They have both of their running backs. They have a Emeka Egbuka at receiver. They have a guard in Donovan Jackson. So that's 4 guys on offense. And then they have Caleb Downs, Jack Sawyer, Tyleik Williams, Denzel Burke, all on defense. So damn near half their starters on both sides of the ball are rated as in the top 100 per EA Sports, which is, I feel like, pretty accurate ratings.
100% accurate ratings. I mean, what money can buy you in today's game, that's what it can buy you right there, is a very stacked roster, which is why we have them as one of the top 2 teams in the country, along with Georgia, and the favorite to win the Big Ten and be in the national championship. It just, one position we don't see on here is the quarterback spot, and that's a big deal.
Wait, what'd you say? So, yeah, exactly. But it does also make me believe that, like, Will Howard probably will be really good. I think he probably will be. He was pretty good at Kansas State.
2 positions you do not see. 2 positions you do not see for Ohio State: quarterback, offensive line.
I know, and the O-line, that's the concern. That's the real concern. I'm not as concerned about quarterback simply because, like, there's so much talent around him. He should be good, but yeah, O-line would be the big worry. So Ohio State is 8 players. UGA has 6. Tate Ratledge leading the way, the guard with a 95 overall. You got Fairchild, Delp, Carson Beck, Mikael Williams. Once again, I'm interested that Delp's always the one that come out with that on PFF's top 5 tight ends in the country. They had Jurasek and no Oscar Delp. So a very sneaky good position group there for the Bulldogs.
LSU's got some guys in there too. You got two. We just talked about
Georgia.
2 great tackles with Emory.
Don't jump.
I'm just trying. You call me a homer, so I was trying to get up through the Georgia one.
No. Georgia has 6. Alabama has 6 as well. Actually led by Parker Brailsford, the center transfer from Washington. How funny that he's leading the way when everybody hated. Who was Alabama's center last year again? I forgot. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh,
whatever.
Everybody rolling it back, isn't he? Yeah. Where is he at now? Is he at Ohio State?
He's at Ohio State. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
See, once
again, Alabama's
that's going to cost him a national championship. It's going to cost him a national championship.
Yeah. Will Howard can't catch the snaps either. I mean, shit, if Jalen Milroe couldn't. Michigan,
no one can catch those damn snaps, T. Fucking snap it to my chest.
Hey, you probably played baseball growing up. Just fucking scoop that thing and throw it. Quarterback's not hard. All you do is fucking stand there and throw the ball. Just shut up and throw it. Okay.
How about Michigan too with another D tackle at 91?
Michigan has 5 players. Oregon has 5 players. Again, just thinking about Gabriel, Tess Johnson, and Evan Stewart all being there shows you how good that offense is going to be. And yeah, as much as we talk about Michigan offensively, who's going to be the quarterback, this or that, the Michigan defense will still be fucking dominant.
Yes.
Or should be, at least. Then you got LSU, Notre Dame, and Iowa with 4 players in the top 100. Shout out the Hawkeyes. Ole Miss, Penn State, Kansas, Miami, Arizona have 3 each. And then finally, the only other schools, the multiple players, these are schools that have 2. Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Clemson, Texas, Colorado, UNC, Kentucky, Louisville, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, and Liberty.
Caden Salter, baby.
Yeah, Caden. I wonder who the second Liberty player is, though.
Quentin Cooley, their running back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Big Ten has 31 players. The SEC has 29. The Big 12 and ACC have 15. So Big Ten and SEC very clearly. Does Quinshon Judkins feel like he should be 9th on this list? Because my initial reaction was, I thought he kind of struggled last year, but then I looked at the stats and he still rushed for over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. The only thing that happened was 2 years ago, he was gaining 120 per game. I think that went down to 90 per game last year. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Well, 2 things. One, we talked about this weekend we got last year. Ole Miss's offensive line was not great. Not great.
No.
And then 2, I'm pretty sure he was banged up from the majority of the season as well. So it's not like he was.
And to be clear, he still went over 1K and 15 touchdowns. My bad year in my head was probably a bit off there. Any other takeaways from this top 100 before we get into EA Road to Glory?
No. Just as we continue to talk about it, I'm pumped. I ordered the game last night. I'm going to go get my whatever it is that lets me push it from my Xbox to my computer. So we'll be rocking and rolling tomorrow. Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm going to get a capture card and an Xbox today, and I'm not looking forward to it. This is like the worst time to have to spend
It's a
money.
business expense.
Yeah, I mean, it really is at this point. You want to hear a funny story before we get into this? Yesterday, I brought my kids to go tour LSU Gymnastics. They have an awesome building or whatever, and it's really cool. Like, Aaliyah Finnegan is she was in there practicing, and she's going to be going to the Olympics on Friday. She's going to Paris. But they have this foam pit. And have you ever gone to a trampoline? You've been to a trampoline park, right? Have you jumped in the foam pit?
No, 100%.
Okay. Well, then that there's nothing that makes you look more unathletic than trying to climb out of a foam pit, right? Well, they have these foam balls with this kind of smooth, almost velvety sort of cover slips on them. They're very smooth and slippery and slippy. Well, my kids are playing in there, and my daughter gets stuck. And so I'm like, oh, I'll help you. And so I hop in to help her. Aaron, when I tell you, I was not joking around, not fucking around. I was legitimately stuck. If I had been in that foam pit alone, I would have starved to death. I don't think I could have gotten out. LSU legend Ashley Natt had to go get a giant stick and pull me out a la
Olivia Dunn came to rescue you?
No, she was at the ESPYs. The majority of the team was already traveling for the ESPYs. But I was so embarrassed. Here I am, supposed to be a former athlete myself. And bro, I could not fucking move.
You just did a backflip off a damn boat a week ago.
Did you see the explosion on the back?
I did. I saw that, which is.
Did you see the explosion on the back?
Well, I was a little shocked right now that big man couldn't get out of the pit.
That's what. That is kind of the point that I'm getting at. Fucking insane how just devious this pit was. I felt like it's what it must feel like to die from quicksand. All right. Anyway, here we go. This is a College Football 25 Road to Glory deep dive. This is for you folks that love Road to Glory. Some points to point out here. They have 4 core pillars here. You see, right? Live the life of a college athlete. This pillar is all about immersion. From the excitement of game day, the challenges of battling academics and athletic, every aspect of a college athlete's life is brought to you. The week-to-week experience. Every decision matters. We've designed the experience to revolve around key in-game decisions and time management. Whether it's choosing to spend your time to practice, studying, social activities, making critical plays on the field, you shape your path to glory. There's fast fun, highly replayable. Road to Glory is designed to be fast-paced and fun, ensuring you're always in the thick of the action with multiple storylines and pathways to explore. And foundation for the future, Road to Glory is not just about the here and now. It's about building a lasting legacy. This year lays the groundwork for the future and enhancements, ensuring your journey as a college athlete will continue to evolve and improve. Off the bat, none of that too surprising.
No NIL, as we've talked about before. I just want, if I was going to do this,
you build your brand.
I want to see how rich I can get. Yeah, but
well,
I want to
but you can. You could build your brand with you have energy points to spend each week, and you can spend on academics, leadership, health, training, or brand.
No, I want that dollar bills.
Well, but you better.
I want to throw 5 touchdowns, and then after the game, see that I have $100,000 deal on the table ready to go. That's what I want.
Here's where here's one thing that I think is very interesting that people were surprised on, but I think is way better. When they originally announced Road to Glory, they said they said there's going to be no high school games, right? It used to be how to do it. You would play high school games and judge by how you did in the playoffs. That would determine your offers and everything else. The thing is, people are competitive and they're good, and it was really hard to fuck that up. Like, people would do good, they'd be a big recruit, they would get big offers. Now, and this is where you get into it's becoming more like a role-playing game. Now you choose your origin. You can choose to be an elite 5-star player where you start with the highest overall ranking of a 79 and you get an extra mental ability, or you can choose to be blue chip. You start at 75, you're a 4-star. You can be a contributor, a 3-star where you got to fight reveal, or you choose to be an underdog where you start as a 60 and really have to grind your way up. And again, that may not sound as fun as doing the high school thing, but it
makes sense. So, like, you said, right? Like, I don't remember ever doing the high school thing and not having top ratings.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
exactly. So this, again, if you want to role play, this helps in that regard. And I love the idea of, I love the abilities and the skill trees and how that could, like, this has potential to actually feel very RPG-ish. I don't know how much of the story they're going to lean into yet. We will see. But so you pick your level, then you pick your position. You choose from quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, or cornerback. You choose your archetype, and then you'll have an interview with a reporter where that'll kind of decide your core recruiting pitch and what schools will be attracted to you, and then you choose on signing day where you want to go. Unfortunately, that's about
too much time playing this damn game. Way too much time playing this game.
I got to say,
golf game's gonna go to shit.
I was not into the Road to Glory mode. I've never been much of it. On NHL, I used to play Be a Pro, I suppose. That's probably the mode I got to do most. But I kind of like the idea of trying to make a 2-star and make it happen. Like, that could be a fun series.
But it's like everything else. So when you do a dynasty mode, like, no, I'd say no one, but like it's not fun when you're Georgia or Alabama and it's too easy at that point. Starting from a lower team and trying to work your way up is way more fun. So yeah, like if I'm going to do this my first go around, I'm probably going to try the lower level first, the walk on or whatever it's called.
I love the practice is going to be mini games. I am a massive fan of these right here, dude. In FIFA, I love the skill mini games. And Madden, I loved when they first started coming out with mini games. Yes, exactly. So, and it just works like those. Based on what you score, you get 1 training opportunity, I think, per week. Or and if you get gold, you get, this much coach trust. If you get
what position are you going to be?
Much coach trust. I mean, I kind of want to.
Always fascinated. Okay.
Just because, like.
You don't pick the plays, correct?
I wouldn't think so. No.
Okay.
I would not think so. I mean, I don't know. Like, doing something like linebacker would be fun, but I don't know. or receiver, maybe running back. Running back would actually be a lot of fun because you get a little bit of everything. You get running the ball. You get to go out on routes and try to catch it and whatnot. I'd be down for that. Aaron, guess what? Just like real life too, you're gonna have to study. How about that?
That's unfortunate.
Academics play a crucial role in your life as a student athlete and impacting both your eligibility and overall success. They are divided into two key components: test readiness and GPA. Apparently you have your midterms week 8 and week 15. And if you don't have your test readiness up enough, you will fail midterms and you will run into academic issues.
Damn.
You have to maintain a GPA of 2 to play. If you get up to 3, you get a fan favorite mental ability and you get some additional coach trust. Very funny to me that you're going to have to focus on your academics like that. But, you know,
we didn't come here to play school. Let's go.
Yeah. Cardell said it best.
Mm-hmm.
You got leadership where, you know, like I said, you have 4 energy points. I think it is each. Maybe it's 6, 5. I can't remember. But these are where you're going to put your energy into, and it's going to be that classic resource management push-pull. Like, I really need to get healthy this week, but also I can't fall under a 3-0. I guess I have to skip leadership here, and I have to focus on training, or, you know, fuck my brand this week because I need to get to I need to study for physics and whatnot. Scenarios and dilemmas. I like this. You just progress along your journey as a student athlete, you will encounter unexpected scenarios and dilemmas that add a complexity and excitement to your experience. These will trigger based on decisions you make and how you spend your time off the field. If they get this part right,
this will be wild.
This is where the real role playing could come into play. Yeah. This could be super fun.
We're talking about like
some dilemmas
teen drama looks like less co-ed drama.
Some dilemmas will present actual conflicts, such as being asked to attend an off-campus party. Attending the party can increase your brand by boosting your social presence, but it may also require you to skip your night class. There's a risk associated with this. Is getting caught skipping class could negatively impact your GPA, which might affect your academic standing. You get it, right? They need to do a
go back. There's NIL deals.
If this was going to be representative of Aaron Murray's college experience, do we need a hot coffee mini game?
Yes.
Do you know what hot coffee is?
I'm thinking, since you brought me into this, that I do know what hot coffee is.
So back in the day, Grand Theft Auto, I believe it was San Andreas, had a secret threesome mini game. Where you would be like, I think, like actively like pumping with the buttons and whatnot. They figured it out. It caused a whole to-do. Who knows? Maybe they have a hidden QB1 hot coffee mini game in here. That would be hilarious too. And like, if you perform well, then you get more girlfriend trust. I don't know. But, let's see how realistic.
We're just trying to make it realistic. Make it real.
Exactly.
Give the people they want. Trying to live that QB. That's why you want to be QB. Live that QB1 lifestyle.
Oh, wow. Look at this. So you get a text from your boy like, hey, you want to drive to our morning government class together this week? Gotta love these 8:30 a.m. lectures, and you choose to skip, or you agree to drive together. Sleeping in, that's going to improve your health. I got alerted you missed your 8:30 government class. Well, you not only missed class, you also missed a pop quiz.
Ooh.
Womp GPA decrease. Bad feeling. I missed entire midterms back in the day at times, and I'd be a little too checked out. NIL deals. Name, image, and likeness are a significant aspect of your journey as a student athlete, offering you opportunities to become an ambassador for various brands and earn rewards. NIL deals come with a duration for which they will run and an energy cost associated with them, as they require some of your time. The energy cost can be upfront or a weekly cost over the course of the contract. Jesus, dude, this is a lot of management. I mean, again, role playing, right?
Once again, like, do you expect anything else from everything else we've talked about? With
True. It's amazing what happens when you have multiple years to work on a sports game as opposed to like 9 months, like these games normally have. Now, I do like this. The NIL deals will come with actual on the field impacts, right? Gameplay bonuses, improvements to your in-game attributes, such as enhanced catching ability, increased speed, better stamina. Off-field bonuses, enhancement of one of your meters, such as increasing your number of followers, boosting your coach trust, or improving your health. Like I know, for instance, we got the example of like, if you strike a deal with like a massage place, well, your recovery goes up. Chill out, Aaron. Jesus.
I mean, of all you could fucking pick.
No, that's the example. Remember, we talked to
yeah, true. True.
Matt Brown a few weeks ago. That's the one.
Robert Kraft.
There it is. Oh, sorry. I said massage. They say physical therapy center.
Yeah.
Look at this. Is crazy. So you're going to be answering texts about this is our proposal for a 2-week contract. The cost of 1 energy per week. You'll receive 500 new followers each week of the contract. This Road to Glory could actually be pretty fun. Coach trust and position battles. Coach trust is your lifeline. It's a constant currency you'll earn throughout your journey. Think of it as the key to unlocking your playing time on the field. Whether you're the hotshot 5-star or the 2-star underdog, earning coach trust is essential. And you do that through all the ways that we've talked about right now. Not only are you going to be earning coach trust, but your fellow teammates will also be earning coach trust. That's interesting. So they're kind of simulating a facsimile of what you're doing, but for every member.
I'm trying to remember. So if you didn't earn the starting position, you're just not playing the games. Like, does the entire season get simulated?
I kind of would think so, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean, because you'd still be practicing to earn coach trust, and maybe you end up winning the battle, and you
eventually during the season you win it out.
And I'm sure they have some opportunities built in to help you kind of maybe climb that ladder. Potentially,
you on the sideline, like a sideline view, and you just watch the game if you want to.
Oh God, that'd be awful. It's like cold outside, so the fucking controller's just shaking the entire time. Warm up because you're not fucking playing. Once you've accumulated enough coach trust, you'll trigger what we call a position battle. It's your golden opportunity to earn the spot on game day. Position battles are intense. They task you with winning 2 out of 3 position-specific mini games. Okay, that's cool. But here's the catch. If you lose the position battle, you'll kind of get thrown back down. You need to climb back up the ladder over the next few weeks before you get another shot at it. It's pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Position battles generally are something that, like, once coaches go with a guy, they like to like stay with it for a little bit and see if it works. So I think it makes sense. All aboard the game train. Player progression is a core element. Of course, this is where the RPG stuff comes in. As Road to Glory character, you earn progression XP through various activities, gameplay, which is like in-game goals, performing well during games, and then training, which you can put energy points into during your weekly agenda. As you accumulate XP, you'll find a progression bar. Once that's filled, you'll earn a skill point, which can be spent on upgrading your character's ratings and physical abilities. It's amazing how much this just sounds like any other RPG video game. It's great. Skill group.
So will you play this right away?
I'll probably start a character. Yeah. This would be something that appeals to me just to do solely on stream.
Yeah.
I don't think I would play Road to Glory alone, but because it's got story elements, RPG elements, maybe doing something off the beaten path, like being an underdog. I think there's some pretty cool potential there in terms of like having fun with chat while playing. And then look, here's your mental and physical abilities, which we all know about that. Game day. Let's see what it says about game day. I wanted to see if they answered the question that you had about if you're on the sideline. And then look, wear and tear, kind of same things you're going to be doing that we've talked about a lot at this point. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm losing steam. My voice is hurting. Within the gameplay, you'll initially have access to limited play calling. On the play selection screen, you'll see only one play the coach has called for you. As you increase your coach trust, you'll earn the ability to change the play. Okay.
Nice.
Even if you're not a quarterback, I'm guessing. Transfer portal. In the world of Road to Glory, the transfer portal is just as pivotal as real life. At the end of each season, your player will face a crucial decision: stay loyal to the current school or enter the transfer portal to explore new opportunities. The choice isn't just a simple yes or no; it's a gateway to new adventures and possibilities. Wow, that's that could be fun, right? You start an unheralded, you start an underdog character. You probably get an offer to like a small G5. You fight out, you win a position battle, you play well there, and the next thing you know, maybe you end up at like a Florida or a Georgia or something along those lines. End of journey. Imagine a world where there's no definitive end, only the boundless possibilities of your journey, uniquely crafted by the choices you make. Retire. Once you've conquered college football, your adventure is just beginning. Okay. So it goes straight into Madden 25. So you can take your Road to Glory character, work him up from an underdog, complete your college career, get drafted into Madden 25, and then do your superstar.
Love that
mode. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, definitely making a player.
Look, man, I'm super hyped for this game. I think it looks awesome. I think the dev team's did a great job here. It remains to be seen once we get eyes on it, once we get our hands on it. But I'm very bullish. I don't think this many people granted, there's a bit of access journalism here where all the people who have had hands on the game are people who are like flown out there and treated well and are excited because they're getting to be a part of something new. But pretty much to a man, nobody's that's played it has said anything like really bad.
Fucking great. Dude, I just think the excitement of finally getting it back as well. So I think it's going to be freaking awesome. Like I said, I ordered mine last night. It will be here. We'll be able to play as soon as we get back from our trips. Let's go. You versus me, game one. Let's go. Right away.
Yeah, we got
Georgia versus LSU
tomorrow. We're going to try to do
Georgia versus LSU. Give the people what they want. Sunday night next week.
So you get Georgia.
I'll take LSU. You get Georgia.
I'm down now. Fuck you, bitch. I'll beat your little quarterback.
We can play in Death Valley too. How about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Just glad running the ball looks way more intuitive and viable, says JT. Yeah, I agree. That was my big takeaway from the game between Donovan Edwards and Bordeaux, is that my Louisiana came out. Is that you could really tell how much better the blocking simulation is and how much more natural, like you used the word intuitive. Yes. How much more natural the ability to read blocks is. Random question, Aaron. Have you ever taken a snap from T-Bob?
Yes, we have done one before. I think I felt your balls before. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I would love for you too. I don't remember your hands.
Have you seen the latest House of Dragon?
Bro,
so good. You haven't seen it yet.
It's incredible. So my wife, I think fell asleep like last week or something. I can't remember why she missed it, but so she needed to rewatch it. So I rewatched 2 episodes ago with her, and then we tried to watch the other one on Sunday. I got too tired and passed out like 10 minutes in. I tried to rewatch it again 2 nights ago. I passed out. It was too late. Again, me falling asleep during something has nothing. It is not a
nothing to
quality.
Nothing.
I'm just 100%. Old now, and I'm sleep deprived 24/7.
Yep.
But
if we start something past 9 o'clock, we're not making it through. Like we have to start something before 8:30.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. And I tried starting at 10.
Ooh, not good.
God, but see, I got a fucking dinner I'm supposed to go to tonight.
It's so good.
I would love to catch up on House of the Dragon.
Good.
I'm going
so
to
good.
do sometime.
Oh, so good.
T-Bob, did you see the screenshots of the Lord of the Rings anime? Yeah, right. War of the Rohirrim. It looks dope. I'm very, very into it. Hopefully they can maybe do a little bit better than Rings of Power did. I like Rings of Power, but I understand why people don't like Rings of Power. I'm hyped for season 2 though, personally. All right. Well, we love you so much. Huge thank you to everybody who's hanging out with us today. YouTube.com/@volume. Nope, not true. Not true.
Nope.
YouTube.com/@snapscfb_. Hit the like button, sub, just hit 16K, road to 17K underway. I'll be at SEC Media Days next week, hopefully bringing you some great content from there all week long. Sub to the pod, on Apple, Spotify. Liking the numbers over there so far now that we're consistently uploading every episode again. I do that right after we get off here. Rate it and review it. That's a very easy way to help grow the show. And look, just a massive thank you to everybody who's riding with us. And excited to kick in some video games finally on this channel as well. So we love you so much, and we'll see you Monday for a brand new episode of Snaps.